Hello and welcome. This is the newsroom for today, Friday, November 6, 2020. In the headlines, a Grove East Bank Demerara couple recalls near-death experience during an armed robbery.
He gets sent for kill me and for take all the money and jewel.
St. Cuthbert's mission to go on full lockdown after its healthcare workers and teachers test positive for COVID-19. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Dharamlal says there will be no local government elections until the Chief Elections Officer Keith Lewinfield is removed from office. And in sport, Powell confident West Indies' power-hitting reserves can perform in New Zealand. With the news, I'm Neil Marks. We're glad you could join us. Nursing chop wounds to the head, neck and several parts of his body, a 49-year-old councillor of the Grove Diamond Neighbourhood Democratic Council and his 45-year-old wife on Friday recounted how they were almost killed in their house at the hands of 3 bandits. The couple were robbed of $150,000 and several pieces of gold jewellery in the wee hours of Thursday. Bibi Katoon has the details.
Puran Singh sat in his house at Caneville Grove on the east bank of Demerara, where 2 nights before he was lying on the floor covered in blood after 3 bandits kicked down his door and chopped him almost to death.
Yeah, I get this one here. I get one straight thing. I get this one behind my neck here. I get one top here. But this one was very deep, so I had to stitch this one. The blood was so immense that I feel very dizzy. Like every now and then I get a dizziness in me. So like the body got to take the time for build back now. That caused me that I could not work for the balance of the week.
On Friday, the newsroom observed that several pieces of blood-stained clothing were still lying around the house. Singh said he retired to bed just after midnight Wednesday, and at about 1 a.m. Thursday he was awoken by a loud noise. When he got up from his bed, he was confronted by 3 unmasked men armed with cutlasses and other weapons. Singh, who is a councillor of the Grove Diamond Neighbourhood Democratic Council, recalled that he pushed a wardrobe in front of the bandits but was unable to stop them from attacking him.
I jumped in bed very fast because when me hear strange song, I just respond very fast. And as I reach the door, I see the 3 persons already running into the house because I kicked the door open, they're running. As they're running now, the wardrobe was just by the doorway, so I slide the wardrobe into the part to block them. See if I could get something in my hand for help defend. But by then they overpowered the wardrobe and getting a start chopping without I didn't have nothing at that moment for in defense because whatever we had we didn't prepare for something like that.
It is unclear how the men gained entry into the yard, but they managed to kick down 2 doors leading to the flat concrete house. The councillor lives with his wife, 45-year-old Asiya Imanali, who recalled that one of the bandits telling her that he was sent to kill her and take all her money. The woman told the bandits that she does not have any money. However, they ransacked the house and found $150,000 in cash, which she had earlier withdrawn from the bank to complete some construction work in the yard. She told the newsroom that one of the bandits placed a mattress on top of her and tried to suffocate her.
One of them come with a knife long, like from my elbow to my finger, for stab me. Man done raise the knife for stab me, and he said that me when I pray after me see that, me start pray and I beg Allah for help me. And when the man raised the knife for stab me, and how the man said that he never worry stab me. He gets sent for kill me and for take all the money and jewel. Me beg and me say, oh uncle, me got money, my husband only work 2 days a week. But he them search and still find me money because only couple days before me draw the money from the bank for complete my job what me in there do. And when me tell them then now then still country start. Then throw 3 bottle, then large bottle, sanitizer for my husband and I try for light the match. 2 matchstick then light and fling up on them, but my husband managed out the fire. So then got them from the ground and I'm start to empty me 2 of my wardrobe. My chest drawer, my vanity, me got my press pack which me blind them all empty at the ground. All been full of blood. Right now me start wash really because all in clothes pack up there. Me push them back in the wardrobe just like that with the blood, so me could take out and some and wash them because me can't wash all one time. Then me not well because me foot break. So then they shove me down back from the mattress, from my bed, then take one 6-inch double mattress and cover me. And I'm a press the mattress down for me. For me, mustn't get up. Well, me tell you the truth, me really feel breakdown. But me lost so much a thing, but still, me got to still thank Allah that me and my husband got to have a life. Because they come for kill the both of us.
Asia suffered a broken leg years ago, and as such, she is unable to walk properly. Therefore, she could not assist her husband during the robbery. The bandits also managed to escape with a container with several pieces of gold jewelry, 3 cell phones, and a bag containing old clothes. An improvised weapon was also left behind. Meanwhile, the family is welcoming any form of assistance from the public, since Singh has also been working only twice per week as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Anyone willing to assist the family can contact 592-644-9691. Bibi Katoon reporting for the newsroom.
A post-mortem examination performed on the bodies of Leroy King, 32, and his reputed wife Cindy Moses, 35, on Friday morning revealed that they died as a result of smoke inhalation and severe burns. Regional Commander Senior Superintendent Lyndon Iles told the newsroom that investigators have not yet determined the cause of the fire. The post-mortem also determined that both victims were alive when the fire started. The charred remains of the young couple were discovered in their lot 1139 block E.E. Eccles, East Bank, Demerara house on Tuesday last, and police investigators have determined that it was a murder and suicide after King set the house on fire. The bodies were burned beyond recognition, police headquarters have reported. Police said that King arrived home at about 19 hours 15 on Tuesday, and shortly after, neighbors claimed they heard the woman screaming from inside the house and what appeared to be a loud explosion. Moments after, neighbors observed fire engulfing the upper flat of the northeastern side of the house and summoned the fire service. King, a businessman and father of 3 young children from another relationship, was the owner of King's Barbershop at 17th Avenue Diamond, East Bank, Demerara. Moses also operated a stationery store in Diamond named Options. The house and car were owned by Moses. She and King had no children together. A member of the Guyana Defense Force, the GDF, and his relatives who were caught on video beating and choking a police constable on Thursday in Georgetown have been arrested. Police headquarters in a statement reported that Staff Sergeant of the GDF, Kieran Joseph, resisted arrest and assaulted a police officer, Constable Cummings, on Hatfield Street in the vicinity of the Route 43 minibus park in Georgetown. Joseph's 2 relatives, Albert Grant and Paulette Grant, were also arrested. The police report noted that Cummings, along with Constable Giles, were performing duties in the area when, at about 5 p.m., Joseph, who was in a heavily tinted car, stopped in the middle of the road and interrupted the free flow of traffic. The police officer approached the car, told Joseph of the offense, and asked him to produce his documents. In a video posted on social media, Joseph was observed refusing to produce his documents, after which Constable Cummings proceeded to arrest him. As a result, he was assaulted and choked by Joseph. It is alleged that during the commotion, 2 of Joseph's relatives who were in the car joined him and assaulted both police officers. With the assistance of other police ranks, Joseph and his relatives were arrested and taken to the Brigdam police station, where they underwent a breathalyzer test and were found to be above the legal alcohol limit of 35%. Meanwhile, police said Joseph appeared before Magistrate Clive Nurse on Friday, where he was slapped with 13 charges. He pleaded guilty to 12 of them and was fined $177,500. He, however, pleaded not guilty to interrupting the free flow of traffic and was placed on $50,000 bail for trial on January 7, 2020, and his driver's license was suspended for 1 year. Still ahead on the newsroom, St. Cuthbert's mission to go on full lockdown after its healthcare workers and teachers test positive for COVID-19. And the Minister of Local Government says there will be no local government elections until the Chief Elections Officer is removed from office. You're watching the newsroom. St. Cuthbert's Mission, an indigenous village along the Mahaika River in Region 4, will proceed on a full 2-week lockdown from Saturday, November 7, after teachers and healthcare workers tested positive for the deadly coronavirus disease. The newsroom understands that the village, which has a population of approximately 1,500 residents, recorded 58 COVID-19 cases in 1 week. The Tushao Beverly Clinkian spoke with the newsroom's Isanella Patwa via telephone on Friday.
All 3 of the healthcare workers in St. Cuthbert's Mission, along with 3 teachers and a village councillor, are among the 58 positive COVID-19 cases in the village. The Tushau, Beverly Klinken, during an interview with the Newsroom, said over 100 persons were tested within the last few days after one of the villagers tested positive last week. This patient is in isolation at the COVID-19 hospital at Liliendal, East Coast at Demerara, while the other 57 patients are in home isolation in the village. A total of 104 tests were done, of which 58 persons tested positive.
We heard one of the residents positive, so the team came into my village. All 3 the health workers at the health center is positive. Everyone is on home isolation, and we had a meeting with the COVID team, and they said if they do not adhere to our rules to be in the home, the next thing we will take them to Madini to isolate them.
Okay. And how has that been going so far? Persons have been adhering?
Yes, so far.
A health team from Georgetown is providing support to the village during this time. A team from the Ministries of Health and Amerindian Affairs and the Civil Defense Commission, CDC, will be visiting the village to distribute food hampers and provide other support during the 2-week lockdown.
We would need other support and medication or whatever, either one.
Okay.
Okay. What mostly goes on is the cold, the flu, as they say.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education was given the green light for schools to be reopened on Monday for CSEC and CAPE students, but students in St. Cuthbert's Mission will not be returning to school due to the lockdown.
I already talked with the regional education officer, and she said she had a talk with the minister. So she don't mind for the 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because the primary school teachers and the nursery school teachers, they are positive. 2 teachers from the primary, 1 head teacher, a head teacher from the nursery.
The Tushau is advising all residents to take the necessary precautions to protect themselves and families from COVID-19. Reporting for the Newsroom, I am Isanella Patwo.
The Ministry of Health on Friday reported that a 56-year-old man from Region 1 died of COVID-19, taking the country's death toll to 133 and the 7th for this month thus far. The ministry in a statement said the man died while receiving care at a medical facility. The ministry also officially confirmed the death of 74-year-old Estella Williams. The woman of Moblisa Region 10 died next to her daughter at the Wisma Hospital on Thursday, hours after she was hospitalized, while 11 family members, including her 2-year-old granddaughter, tested positive for the virus. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Darmlal has made it clear that he will not set a date for the holding of local government elections until the current embattled Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield is removed from the helm of the Guyana Elections Commission. Speaking with the media on the sidelines of an event at the Office of the President on Thursday, Minister Darmlal said he is hopeful that investigations into the 5-month-long electoral process will lead to the removal of Lowenfield.
We have to have certain reforms. We would not be proceeding to elections with Lowenfield and those types of persons. So I will await the direction of His Excellency on this.
Do you believe that those reforms can happen before November?
Well, those reforms are beyond me. Those reforms take place at other levels, and as soon as they are complete, I'm sure that we'd be able to proceed.
Are you confident that the investigations ongoing will lead to the removal of Mr. Lowenfield and others?
Well, as a citizen, I hope Mr. Lowenfield will be removed. As a Minister of Government, I also hope Mr. Lowenfield will be removed. There is too much evidence against what has happened, and I do not think that any agency of the government with that lack of credibility should be allowed to carry out constitutional functions.
Local government elections are constitutionally due next year. However, the Guyana Police Force has charged several employees of GCOM, including Lowenfield and his deputy Roxanne Myers, with electoral fraud and misconduct in public office. President Irfan Ali recently told the media that these elections cannot be held until GCOM is fixed. Vice President Bara Jaggi on Friday announced that the government has identified the parameters of the Gas to Shore project, which is looking at the supply of 200 to 250 megawatts of power. At a press conference held at the Artichon Conference Centre on the East Coast, Jaggi noted that the government is looking to supply cooking gas to the entire country through the project.
Started working on the gas to energy project. We have been defining the parameters. We've had several meetings with Exxon, and we have now, I think we're clearer on the parameters we want, between 2 to 250 megawatts of power, and enough gas to do that and to supply the entire country with cooking gas, LPG, in the project that will hopefully move to a project implementation stage soon, very soon, early next year. And we're hoping that we would have a 3 years time span for that. That will be a major difference to the system because of the price at which it will come in.
Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Onij Walran, lost her United States citizenship immediately upon taking an oath of renunciation during the month of September, Clerk of the National Assembly, Sherlock Isaacs, has stated. The clerk also publicly revealed Walran's certificate of loss of nationality on Friday, which revealed that it was approved on September 8, 2020 by the consular section of the U.S. Embassy. Walran, in late October, confirmed that she had renounced her U.S. citizenship before the first sitting of the National Assembly on September 1, 2020, but she did not provide a specific date. According to the minister, she was advised by her lawyer that the sections of the Constitution prohibiting elected members from being dual citizens do not apply to her, since she is a technocrat minister. But she decided to renounce her U.S. citizenship out of an abundance of caution and to avoid any distraction to the good work of the government. The main opposition, APNU plus AFC, had alleged that Walran is not a lawful member of the National Assembly. Still ahead on the newsroom, the top CSEC student of the Aurora Secondary School is elated with her results, and central government says it will not financially assist City Hall until there is an audit. Watching the newsroom. While many students requested reviews from CXC on their results from the Caribbean Secondary Examination Certificate CSEC, 16-year-old Aliyah Mohammed is elated that she achieved grade 1s in all her 13 subjects. A student of the Aurora Secondary School on the Essequibo-Coast Region 2, the business student says she is honored to be this year's top-performing student at the school. During an interview with the Newsroom's Isanella Pato, the young lady explained how she managed with the pressures of the exams during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Hi Aliyah, thank you for doing this interview with us. We can jump right into it with you telling me a little about yourself.
I'm Aliyah Mohammed and I'm from Aurora Estate, Essequibo, Region Number 2. And I attend Aurora Secondary School for the past 5 years. I got 13 grade 1s. Within those grade 1s are 7 distinctions.
I know when you started preparing for the CSEC exams, you probably had no idea you would be writing it under a pandemic and under strict rules. How was that for you?
I was actually scared, but because we had to wear a mask all day and we had to be 6 feet apart, so it was quite challenging for me. But however, I had to embrace it, so I didn't want that to like do anything to my studies, so I work along.
I also know the transition to online learning would have been a big change, and I know especially for Essequibo there have been a lot of complaints about the internet service. How did you manage to adapt with the issues with the internet service and online learning?
I didn't really like that much because you don't get to understand the work that was sent, like how you used to in the classroom. So we had to study there, most likely, because the internet wasn't working good at all. Yeah, it was quite challenging because you don't get to understand the concepts that much, like how you were taught in school.
Did you ever thought that you would have been the top performer, and how do you feel?
Well, I wrote 13 subjects, and I was hoping I would be the top performer. So I did. I am.
Now, when CXC released the preliminary results in September, there was widespread reports of discrepancies with the grades. Were you satisfied with the grades you got, or did you also request a review?
I am quite satisfied with my grades because I know I did well, so yeah. I feel very happy. I'm happy to be a student of our secondary, and the teachers are so good. I really want to highlight them. They're very good teachers. I couldn't ask for better teachers. As I plan to pursue studies in a business career, mainly in the accounts field.
Okay, Alia, I want to say congratulations to you on your success at this year's CSEC exams, and I wish you all the best for your future. Thank you very much for doing this interview. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Yes, I would like to thank my parents, especially my mother. She is a very strong woman. I want to thank my friends, my sisters, and most importantly, God, because I couldn't have been here without Him. I want to thank everyone that have helped me through my examination and through my school life. And I really want to thank my father too, because he was there with me all along, even though he had to work and so much more. I want to thank him so much.
The government of Guyana has purchased additional generating sets through MacCorp at a cost of $2.5 million to increase the generation of electricity by the Guyana Power and Light Company. According to Vice President Dr. Barajagdio, the additional power will come on stream at the end of November in time for the holiday season.
Then we discovered that there is not enough power in the system, because when you take aside some of the units for maintenance, you're left with a capacity that almost mirrors peak demand. And so in the last couple of months, the government has had to buy, and now is from Giftland, about 5 megawatts of power that's coming into the system now on an emergency basis, so we don't have blackouts between now and the time where the base load station comes on stream sometime next year. And we have had to purchase another 10 megawatts of power through MacCorp, which will be here by the end of November for the Christmas season, and but those will be units that will be used, can then be deployed once the base load comes in, can be deployed across the country. That's for about $2.5 million. So that is all to ensure we have emergency power as we approach Christmas and into the new year, pending the establishment of the major base load capacity.
The Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development is awaiting the completion of an audit by the Auditor General's Office before any financial assistance is given to the Georgetown Mayor and City Council. Minister Nigel Darmlal alleged that there are many unlawful practices at the Council which needs to be addressed.
We have assisted City Hall consistently. Even since I became Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, we assisted City Hall. But I just want to share with you that between end of 2015 to 2019, City Hall accrued revenue of over $12.7 billion. We have since written to the Auditor General seeking an audit of all 10 municipalities. The Auditor General has responded to me to say that they will begin auditing, and City Hall is one of those that will be audited. So I think as soon as the audit is complete, then we'll be in a better position to provide support, because City Hall is basically an institution that engages in activities which I think are counterproductive to good governance, and some of those also hinge on lawfulness and illegality. And why should we provide taxpayer support to an institution like City Hall that does not subscribe to accountability?
The Diwali motorcade, one of the most anticipated events associated with the festival of Diwali, will be held virtually this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha on Thursday hosted a Diwali light-up event as one of the activities in the countdown to Diwali 2020, which will be observed on November 14. Isnella Patwa has the details.
Diwali is a religious festival which celebrates good over evil and light over darkness. After 46 years of Diwali motorcade, the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha this year was forced to host a spectacular event virtually due to COVID-19. On Thursday, the organization held a light-up event at the Seawall Roundabout in Georgetown, where a number of diyas were lit in the countdown to Diwali 2020. Minister of Human Services and Social Security and President of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, Yesu Persaud, urged all persons to come together virtually to celebrate the festival.
Diwali also celebrates all of the powerful things that can change countries and the world: justice, positivity, goodness, kindness, compassion, all of the qualities that each one of us is supposed to let triumph not only around this time but throughout our lives. Deepavali is a cluster of light, that's what it means. And it is a time when we traditionally pay obeisance to Mahalakshmi. So it's a time for Lakshmi Puja. But as I said, COVID-19 has caused us to think of new ways to celebrate, to observe, and to create the prelude to Diwali 2020, which will be observed on the 14th of November.
Meanwhile, Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport Charles Ramson Jr., during brief remarks, said the government is planning to restore pride to all ethnicities and culture.
What we will be doing on behalf of the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, and you'll be seeing a lot of our programs being rolled out here and after, especially as we get out of COVID, is that you will see the strength of our diversity, the richness of our diversity being displayed in a very prominent and proud way, so that everyone who has that connection to that culture, whether it's your race or your religion, that you can all be associated and feel proud as a result of the display that is being happening within our country.
Indian High Commissioner to Ghana, Dr. K.J. Srinivasa, also pledged to continue to support the Ghana Hindu Dharmic Sabha and encourage all to celebrate Diwali with unity and love.
So this Diwali, take an oath, make a commitment that when you celebrate Diwali, you're going to spread that little bit of cheer, little bit of happiness with the less fortunate ones. Care for the others, care for the downtrodden.
For persons who will be attending mandirs during the festival, the organization is urging that they all practice physical distance and wear a mask. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Isanela Patwo.
When the newsroom returns, the financial weather and bridge reports along with sport. Welcome back. This is the newsroom and it's time for sport. We begin with cricket. The usual big power hitters are not part of the West Indies squad for the tour to New Zealand for various reasons. However, promising all-rounder Rothman Powell still believes there's great depth and ability in the current group to muscle the ball over the ropes and present a challenge to the hosts. Akim Green has more in this report.
The feared names such as Chris Gayle, Andrew Russell, Edwin Lewis, Lionel Simmons and Dwayne Bravo are out. But Powell, speaking at Thursday's virtual presser, said it is a perfect opportunity for fresh faces to do the job and make a name for themselves.
If you should look on the depth of the team, I think it's a very good and a very strong team as it regards power hitting, with the exception, with those guys being missing. But what that does, those guys being missing, what that does is that it provides an opportunity. It provides an opportunity for us as younger players, just before the World Cup, just before the start of Cricket 2021, to put our best foot forward, and put good performance in places, and hopefully that will carry us in good stead.
Head coach Phil Simmons stated this tour provides such a platform for the early edition of World T20 spots. West Indies have played 4 T20 international series in New Zealand, losing 3 and drawing the other 1-1 on the tour in 2008. Overall, they have won only 1 of 8 T20 games in New Zealand.
This squad can turn it around. New Zealand hasn't been a easy place, not just for us, but other overseas team to tour. But if you look on the strength and the depth of the squad, I think it's a pretty good one. The captain and the coach has stressed on us playing the brand of cricket that we want to play leading up to the World Cup, and all the guys have buy into that brand of cricket, and I think it will bear fruit.
The 27-year-old who captained Jamaica Tallows in this year's Caribbean Premier League had a forgettable tournament. He averaged just under 12 with the bat and had a strike rate of under 87 for the 106 runs he made in 11 matches. He also produced one of the most expensive spells during the season with none to 48 from 4 overs with his medium pace. Eyebrows were raised when Powell and his fellow countryman O'Shane Thomas retained their spots in the West Indies T20 squad following the lackluster performances in the CPL. Responding to a question from Newsroom Sport on the importance of this tour for return to form. He said it is high priority.
Yeah, definitely. It's an important tour, not just to the West Indies team, but also for me. You mentioned not scoring a lot of runs in CPL. That is behind me. It was a difficult competition for me, but, brighter things now. I have 3 T20 games here that I'm looking forward to. So hopefully I can put my best foot forward with quality training sessions leading up to this game.
Assessing more of the need for personal development, he indicated he wants to improve on his speed to become a more cutting-edge international all-rounder. For the newsroom, Akim Green.
And here now is the rest of sport with Akim Green. I'm Neil Mark Sticker.
Sunrisers Hyderabad have eliminated Royal Challengers Bangalore from the 2020 Indian Premier League after a thrilling 6-wicket win in the eliminator on Friday in Abu Dhabi. Sunrisers were seemingly making a hash in pursuit of 132 when they were 97 for 4 at the end of 16 overs. But calm heads of Kane Williamson and Jason Holder got them over the line in an unbroken partnership of 65 from 47 balls. Williamson made 50 from 44 with 2 fours and a 6, while Holder, who struck back-to-back boundaries in the final over to seal the win, made 24. Adam Zampa had remarkable figures of 1 for 12 from 4 overs. Earlier, RCB lost their captain Virat Kohli for just 6, and the innings never got going despite the fighting 56 from 43 balls from A.B. de Villiers and 32 from Aaron Finch. Holder was the pick of the bowlers with 3 for 25 from his quarter. Sunrisers will now play Delhi Capitals on Sunday from 10 hours for a spot in next Tuesday's final against defending champions Mumbai Indians. In some cricket news still, West Indies head coach Phil Simmons has indicated the management has not yet looked into the possibility of Sherman Hetmyer being used as a test opener on a tour to New Zealand. Details in this report. Craig Brathwaite and John Campbell are the only 2 outright openers in the 50-man test squad for the 2 tests. Campbell is under pressure after laying patch in England, and there are some ideas that Hetmyer can be used as a temporary opener on the tour. Uncapped reserves Shane Mosley and Joshua De Silva are the other opener considerations, but they can only be drafted into the squad if there is an injury, which makes Hetmyer, who is an opener by upbringing, a possible option.
That hasn't really been looked at, but as you say, it's always a possibility. But the thing about it is that Hetty gets here from IPL soon, so then we can see what's happening and we see everyone. But as for now, it's not something that we've looked into.
Simmons also said he welcomes the return of Hetmyer and Darren Bravo to the test squad since it puts pressure on the current crop of batsmen to perform.
When you have competition for places, then people have to perform to hold on to their places. And this is a good thing that the 2 guys who missed out at England are 2 of what we would consider our top test players. So that is added pressure for the guys who are in England. So that's when you start getting people, as you say, converting from 50s to 100s.
According to the head coach, Darren Bravo's return is of great significance since his experience will be invaluable, especially in New Zealand.
He's always been important to the test team, especially. And as I said before, it's good to have him and Shimron back in the squad. And it's where the batting is concerned. I think the pressure on people to hold their places and in order to hold their places, they have to score runs. It means that it's a big plus for us. And he is a huge plus for us in this situation. He's done well down here. He's one of the only batsmen who are high averages in international cricket. So, he knows what it takes to score big runs at this level. So it's good to have him back.
West Indies will play 3 T20 internationals, followed by 2 test matches. One in Hamilton from December 3rd to the 7th, and then in Wellington from December 11th to the 15th. For the newsroom, Akim Green. For some basketball news, the National Basketball Players Association confirmed that the organization had tentatively approved a start date of December 22nd for the upcoming 2020-21 season. The association also confirmed it had agreed to a reduced length in the 72-game regular season. The final game of the 2020 NBA Finals came on October 11th from retained by a secure bubble at the Walt Disney World in Orlando after a 4-month mid-season delay due to COVID-19. NBA sources explained to ESPN the reasons behind the December 22 start is perceived to be financial benefits to the league and its players. The league believes that the December 22nd start includes Christmas Day games on television and allows for a 72-game schedule that finishes before the Summer Olympics in mid-July is worth between $500 million to $1 billion and long-term and short-term revenues to the league and players. And that's a wrap on our newscast for tonight. Do have an enjoyable weekend and stay safe. My name is Akim Green, and thanks for watching.